Hey guys, what's up? Welcome into another edition of the Dabbling Angler. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. It's still really cold here, or at least too cold for me to want to get out and fish at this point in time. So I decided to go ahead and do a little experimenting today. I went ahead and grabbed 3 of the baits that I got in this month's mystery tackle box. I went ahead and filled up an old aquarium that I have. And we're going to take a look and see what the presentation looks like in all 3 of these lures. So the first one that we're going to see is going to be this guy. This is the Tightrope Baby Firework Super Jig. Getting better at saying the name. This is kind of a long name, but we're going to try this one. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to put it in just the way that it is here, just by itself, with no trailer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add on this Express Craw. Some of you guys that get the mystery tackle box on a regular basis may recognize that bait. That came in one of my boxes. I can't remember if it was September or maybe August. So that was a really cool crawfish, and I think it'll work really well as a trailer on that. So we're just going to take a look and see, again, with and without the trailer. The next thing that we're going to go and do is I went ahead and Texas rigged, and I did it kind of quick. I think it looks okay. But this is that Savage Gear 4D craw, and give you a little better look at it than what you saw in the box. So this thing, I mean, gosh, the claws, the antenna, the legs, I mean, this thing is just, the detail in it is just unbelievable. So I'm real excited about this one to see what it looks like. I went ahead and put it on that Spear Point performance hook. I figured they were there, might as well use them. So I'm going to Texas rig that, and we'll have it Texas rigged. I'm going to throw that in there. And then finally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish with that 10,000 fish Sakoshi bug, and I hope I'm saying that name correctly. I went ahead and pulled one out that has the 2 colors, that has the green pumpkin with the red flake and then the blue on the back end. I have it rigged, and again, I just kind of threw it on there. Hopefully it looks good enough. I know I didn't get exactly in the middle, I apologize. But I went ahead and put it on a Z-Man. I think this is a 1/10 ounce head, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to go ahead, and I think what we'll do is I will run video just kind of back to back to back on all of these, and then we'll kind of circle back in and talk a little bit about what we saw. So hope you guys enjoy. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to see here is we're going to see this Firework Super Jig. We're going to see it get what it looks like when you drag it across the bottom. So the key with this is slow movements. You can see this is really flared out quite a bit, and you know, it works really good trying to, like I say, trying to bounce off of those rocks. All right, next up we're going to see what this looks like when it hops. So we can see when this goes in, when we're hopping, you're starting to see some movement from that skirt. Certainly diving down into those rocks. Now finally, let's take a look at it when we swim it. Again, you're seeing that skirt really flared out while we're swimming. Okay guys, now I've gone ahead and tied on a little crawfish trailer to that Tightrope Baby Firework Super Jig. Let's take a look and see what it does with that crawfish tied on. Notice how it keeps that craw in that defensive position, and gives it just enough movement. Just enough movement. Oh, tied up. There we go. Check that out. Now let's see what it looks like when we hop it. Again, gives it just that movement that we need. And then finally, let's swim it. So in my opinion, dragging it or hopping it are probably going to be our best plans of attack with this. That dragging looks great. Alright guys, so next up in our test, I have the Savage Gear 4D craw. I have it Texas rigged, and I went ahead and, since I had the hooks out, I went ahead and used that spear point hook that was given in that mystery tackle box. So let's take a look and see what this thing looks like. Hopefully it sits up too, just like the other presentation with that baby firework. So drag him through. Yep. Oh, that is really cool looking. That is pretty awesome. Oh, I cannot wait to get out there with this. This is certainly going to be something that we're going to catch some fish with. Absolutely. You drag it, falls down a little bit, then immediately gets back up in that defensive position. So, got him Texas rigged with a little weight on there. Yep, that's definitely going to be something that I'm going to look forward to. Alright, now next up is that Sakoshi bug from 10,000 Fish. This has got to look great. I've been waiting for this one since I opened the box. So let's take a look at this when it hops in. Stands up immediately. Drag it through. Stands up. Hop it. Still stands. Great buoyancy on this bait. I think that's a 1/10 ounce head. So nothing real big. That is certainly what we want it to do. So really looking forward to fishing this as well. Yep, that is what we're looking for. Alright guys, so I think we saw some really cool things there in that video. Number one, this guy, I mean, that skirt just stays flared out. And, you know, it had a pretty decent amount of movement. I really liked it by itself. But, man, where it just looked awesome was when I rigged this crawfish on here. And, you know, just really quickly just kind of slid him on. And again, you know, don't crucify me on how maybe inaccurate this looks, and of course I put it on upside down. I always do. So, I mean, you guys saw what it looked like. That defensive position, I mean, you know, as soon as it hit the water, that craw went right in that defensive position. Those claws went up, and I mean, it looked great. You know, and dragging it along, hopping it along, it always ended up back in that defensive position. So that is bound to get a reaction or two. I would say even in the cold water. You know, the warmer water, those claws are going to move a little bit more. They're certainly going to slow down in the cold water, but you know, that's fine. I mean, the fish are slowing down as well, so you want the bait to slow down. So I think that is going to be a really good setup for me in the weeks moving forward. Next, we moved into the Savage Gear 40 craw, and again, I just can't get over the detail on this bait. And again, with it on that weight, that weighted Texas rig really made it stand up in that defensive position again, which is what's going to create our reaction. You know, if that fish that's getting ready to eat thinks that crawfish is scared, it's going to go after it, and that's what we want to have happen. I will tell you, and I just didn't, I don't know why I didn't put it in the video, but I did put it in without the weight, and I'm not sure what was going on. It really didn't have as good of a defensive posture. The weight really brought it out. So kind of going forward, I'm just going to make sure that I'm going to have it weighted. You may have noticed on the video too that I didn't peg it. You know, I'm just kind of, wasn't really, I'm not fishing, so I didn't want to go through all of those steps. But certainly the next time I fish with it, I'll have a stopper on there, so it won't be that weight won't be sliding all around. And then finally, this Sakoshi bug, and again, I hope I'm saying the name correctly. I mean, that was so cool. The way that as soon as it went in, it stood up. And I hopped it, and it moved, and it stood straight up. And then I moved it again, and it stood straight up. And, you know, you're going to get a little bit of movement, and you know, you can see it just kind of moving a little bit there as I'm messing with it. I mean, all three of these stood out in their own way. All three of them, I think, are going to be effective, and I really can't wait to fish with them. But, you know, guys, let me know what you think about what you just saw. Let me know if you fished with any of these. I'm new to the Savage Gear stuff, and I'm new to the 10,000. Well, I'm new to all of it, really. Everything I try is something that I've not really tried before, which is pretty much the purpose of my channel. So if you've had experience with these, you know, drop me a note, let me know, put something in the comment section that may help me and may help somebody else that's watched the video. If you have any other questions, maybe some things that, you know, I didn't show, let me know. Hit the like button if you got something out of this. Subscribe if you can. Tell your buddies, tell your friends. You know, that's what this channel is supposed to be about. So anyway, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap for today. I hope you enjoyed what you saw, and if you could hit the like button, again, comment if you can, subscribe if you can, and until next time, hopefully this helped you get to your next personal best. Take care.